Welcome back to Zen Dragon Healing. My name is Oscar, aka the Zen Dragon. Today, we're going to talk about high vibrations and low vibrations. It's something that's been coming up in conversation an awful lot. And what I seem to be getting more and more of from people is essentially something along the lines of, I stay away from negative people and toxic places because I'm on a higher vibration and I can't have that in my energy field. Well, as a healer, we don't get the luxury of staying away from negative people or toxic places. You know, this is where we're needed the most. So here's what I've come up with. Here's what we've come to understand. If we're truly on a higher vibrational plane, then lower vibrations are not going to affect our energy field. Actually, what should be happening is if we're on a higher vibrational plane, then our energetic field should be having a positive effect on those in a lower vibrational plane and in those places where the vibration is lower. You know, doctors don't get the luxury of only being around well people. In fact, doctors spend most of their time around people who are ill. Can you just imagine if the doctors said, I don't want to be around sick people. I can't be around sick people because I don't want to get sick. They would be of absolutely no use, correct? Well, now, as healers, we don't necessarily liken ourselves to doctors. You know, though doctors are a healer of sorts, some of us are healers of another sort, you know, and it would be irresponsible to deny that our emotional and mental states have an effect on our physical health. Medical science even tells us that stress can cause ulcers, you know, and ulcers can lead to other health issues. Now, we work on a different field. Particularly, I work in the mental and emotional field as a spiritual guide, as a spiritual healer. And what I work on with people is essentially their vibration, their mental and emotional vibration. You know, helping people or aiding people to the path where they can raise their vibration and they can experience mental and emotional healing. And what we've seen in more cases than not are people with physical ailments like chronic pain or autoimmune disorders are finding themselves becoming more and more physically comforted as their vibration raises higher and higher. Now, we don't discredit or disqualify medical science, not by any means, you know, nor do we discredit or disqualify the field of psychological medicine. We simply offer a whole body, mind, and spirit solution. You know, so as energetic healers, what we're working on is we're working in the energetic field, we're working on the emotional body, and these things are as important to our overall being as looking after our physical and mental health. So what we're talking about today is raising our vibration. We want to raise our vibration and bring ourselves about a sense of emotional healing that puts us in a position where we're not adversely affected by lower vibrations, but on the contrary, when we go into a toxic environment or we're dealing with negative people, which is entirely impossible to avoid completely, rather than being affected by those people in those places, we will have more of a positive impact on those people and those places. Now, as a healer for decades now, I've been brought around some of the most toxic people in some of the most sordid places. You know, and as I've worked on raising my own vibration higher and higher, I've found myself being less and less impacted by people, places, and situations that one might say are of a lower vibrational plane. So what are some things that we can do right now? Some things that we can start doing right now that's going to raise our vibration? Well, if you've watched any of our videos, if you've been to any of our classes, or we've done any healing work on you, the thing we hammer on the most is silent meditation, which we understand a lot of people have difficulty with, you know, and video number 2 covers that pretty well. We outline and describe the system that we've developed over the last 32 years that seems to work for most people. And of course, if this system doesn't work for you specifically, you can always hit me up, facebook.com/myzendragon, or leave a comment below, and I'll try to get back to you as soon as possible and offer a little extra assistance. The silent meditation is a practice twice a day. We say this all the time. 5 to 7 minutes a day. That's all we need, 5 to 7 minutes a day in the morning as we wake up, in the evening before we retire at night, is the single most powerful thing that we can do to raise our vibration. Now let's talk about stones. There's a lot of woo around stones, but there is actually some science behind the vibration of crystals in certain stones. Two things that everyone should have in their arsenal if they're working in their energetic field are selenite and clear quartz. These are absolute musts. These are the staple of any metaphysical collection. Selenite never has to be charged, never has to be cleared. It's self-clearing, self-charging. It'll also clear the human energy field, and it'll clear and charge other stones. And then of course there's the ever so important clear quartz. Everyone needs to have a clear quartz. If you can find yourself a clear quartz pendant, beautiful. A couple of our other favorite stones that we talk a lot about are the Larimar. The Larimar is an incredible stone for improving communication. In every one of my videos you'll see me wearing this Larimar. I always have this Larimar on. It's great, really, really great for improving communication. And the way that we communicate towards others is going to raise our vibration far more than the way others communicate towards us will raise or lower our vibration. Or in other words, one of our favorite ascended spiritual masters of all time, some might know him as Jesus, said that it's not what goes into a man that defiles him, but what comes out of him. And we've found this to be exponentially true through and through, time again. You know, how we interact with others is going to have more of an effect on our vibrational frequency than how others interact with us. Now, if we're doing energetic protection and we're creating energetic protection fields around us, and the vibration of these fields is high enough, other people's mentality, behavior, and emotions aren't going to have an adverse effect on us, even as empaths. Now, I am an empath, and I've known that I was an empath since I was a child. It was explained to me. And of course, there was a long period of time where the emotions of others would have a great impact on me. And I've learned to raise my inner vibration, expand and strengthen my energetic field as to not be so adversely affected. However, I can acknowledge the emotions of others, and this helps me in helping people, because I can tell when someone is depressed, I can tell when someone's down, I can tell when someone's mourning, and I can offer assistance to these people. If you're an empath, I'll just throw this in real quick. If you're an empath and you're finding yourself constantly being overwhelmed and overloaded with the emotions of others, something, little trick that I found really works for me is pausing and asking, who does this belong to? Once you get a name, once you get a person, reach out to them. Just ask how they're doing. See if there's anything you can do to help. I have found immediate relief from the overwhelming emotions of others by doing this neat little thing every time I get overwhelmed. You know, so something you could try. And even if you're not an empath, taking that time to pause and to ask, who does this belong to, or where is this coming from, and then reaching out to another individual seeking to help them, that will raise your vibration. Now, another stone that we love to use, and I've got a ton of them in my arsenal, I will often lie down in meditation, placing the stone upon my third eye, is labradorite. Labradorite is an excellent stone for opening the third eye, improving psychic abilities, which everyone has. Everybody has psychic abilities. Some are more naturally inclined than others. Some have worked on their psychic abilities more than others, but all human beings have the capacity to be a psychic. So using a labradorite stone is great for this. Whether you're psychically inclined or developed psychic or not, using a labradorite stone, perhaps getting yourself a labradorite pendant, or simply taking some time once in a while to meditate lying down with a labradorite on your third eye will really help to expand your consciousness, to open you up to the possibilities, to allow new energy to flow into that third eye and kind of rearrange your mental and emotional bodies in such a way that you can survive such an emotionally distraught world with greater ease. Something else. Now, we talk about foods a lot and food vibrations. Drinking water, lots and lots of water. I encourage people to drink as much water as they can. Non-fluoride water, of course, is a must. And adding trace minerals to water is important, especially for those who are very active, who might sweat a lot. Adding trace minerals to your non-fluorinated, purified water will actually prevent pure water overdose, which is a thing. Drinking too much water without enough minerals in it leaches the minerals from the body, and it can cause internal problems in various parts of the body. Look it up. It's a scientific medical thing, I assure you. If you're not currently involved in some kind of spiritual community, we encourage you to get involved. Go to a Reiki circle once a week. There are a ton of great videos on YouTube about high vibrations and guided meditations for high vibrations, which brings us to positive affirmations. I like to use mirrors. I like to encourage people to use mirrors and positive affirmations at least once a day. All of us spend a little time in front of the mirror every morning, brushing our teeth, brushing our hair, putting on our deodorant. It's a great time to take a look at yourself and focus on your positive attributes. Now, of course, we almost all have some sort of physical attribute that when we observe it in the mirror, we kind of get down on ourselves. We need to stop doing that. When that does happen, replace those negative thoughts and those negative emotions with positive affirmations. I am beautiful. I am perfect. I am intelligent. I'm a loving human being, and so on and so forth. That will also help raise your vibration in a big way. And of course, encouraging others. You know, we like to compliment and encourage others as much as possible. No matter how down a person might get on themselves, no matter how much failure a person may have experienced, no matter how distressed an individual is, we can always find something to compliment and encourage another human being with. Now, what that does is that divides our love. And love is the only thing that we can divide, which will actually multiply. So divide the hell out of that love and encourage the hell out of people. And now this is of extreme importance: jealousy and envy. All of us have at some point in time or may currently be experiencing jealousy and envy. It may be from the outside coming in. If that be the case, I would encourage you to cut such people off immediately. Jealousy and envy are pure poison. A person who's jealous of you or who envies you simply can't be trusted until they get past that. And maybe they will, and maybe they won't. The universe brings into our existence the people that need to be there to either teach us lessons or to aid us on our journey. And the universe usually tells us when it's time to part ways with those people. We need to really listen to that. But even more importantly is the jealousy and the envy that might come from within. You know, we need to be honest with ourselves about this too. Of course, no one wants to admit that they're jealous or envious of another, because that might tear down our own character, we fear. It's important that we're honest with ourselves about this and that we eliminate our jealousy and eliminate our envy. There is absolutely nothing that is meant for us that another person can take from us. And just because another person has something doesn't mean we can't also have it. The universe is full of abundance, you know, and as children of this intelligent, creative force we call the universe, we're heirs to all of it. There's plenty to go around. There is no need to envy another. There is no need to fear that someone's going to take something from us that belongs to us. What we're meant to have, we have. What we're not meant to have, we simply need to let go. That pretty much covers our session for the day. Please feel free to go back and watch this video again, play it over and over again. You know, start practicing these simple principles and raise your vibration so that you can get to the point where you can go anywhere and be among anyone and not be adversely affected by other people's energetic fields or by their emotions or by their thoughts and behavior. You know, in this way, we can change the world with each and every encounter just a little bit. So keep vibrating high vibrationers. Make sure you come back and see us again. Don't forget to click that like, and please subscribe so that you get notified on future videos. Thank you.